Good morning. Today is day 48 of moving mountains beneath my feet, and we are 67 days around the sun. There's 298 days left in the year, and this is episode, I believe, 26. I'd have to count them again. But yeah, I have a few things that I want to go over and talk about today. I was talking about how healed men make life better yesterday. And there's a few things that came up for me today. First of all, I always find it funny that no matter how many good things are going on, how many amazing things we have in our lives, maybe we don't notice what they are, but we can always hone in. Our brains can always hone in on that one thing that is less than ideal or less than perfect or not perceived as not good. And you can really dwell there. It's like this. I understand why we have that ability, right? Human beings needed the ability to filter and identify danger and things that are not good, that threatened our survival. But nowadays, it seems that we're less in the realm of, saber-toothed tigers, survival, having to worry about whether or not another person is going to kill us and take our shit, or hurt our tribe or whatever. It's more so an inner world of perceived threats, and perceived survival. And so anyway, I find that odd. I was journaling this morning. I woke up with some difficult emotions and painful things in my mind, heart, and I just talked through it, just keep talking through it, writing through it. The other part that I think men have a really hard time with, and I'm just, getting better with this, is the way that we talking to ourselves in a way that is more nurturing, is more like gentle, is more compassionate, right? It's like realizing all the things that you do, all the things that you've done, and just giving yourself comfort when you're needing it, right? There's so many men out there who have this tough macho exterior, strong outside appearance. Maybe they really work on their physical fitness to make themselves bigger and stronger. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm here working on my fitness. I want to get shredded and look good and be strong and functional. But I feel like a lot of men do this to hide to compensate and to hide this very soft, vulnerable internal structure inside of them. They're highly insecure, very insecure with themselves. They need outside validation. They need people to perceive them as big and strong, but inside they don't feel that way. And so, this leads to what I was talking about yesterday, is like, when you don't know how to deal with your internal emotions and your moods and how you feel about things, especially how you feel about yourself, then you tend to lean on things that are unhealthy. You tend to hurt the people in your life, and oftentimes that is going to be women in your life. And like I said yesterday, there's so much wounding going on both sides, and I want to be a part of helping to end this wounding as far as it goes from the men's side, right? And I had my partner talk to me about something. She said that I wasn't afraid to acknowledge the power of women's power, and that my voice was able to communicate to both sides, right? And essentially, that's, the way that she perceived it and the way she said it was different. But it hit me that, my uniqueness, my ability to be emotional and be okay with my emotions and like be in touch with them and in tune with how I'm feeling, and to accept myself for being that way, and also reaching for the other side, right? So there's everyone has two sides. There's masculine and feminine, and so my uniqueness has given me this sort of a balance. And obviously sometimes I'm more one way or more the other way, But I don't take that or perceive that as my identity, as like, oh, if you're in your feminine, you're a girly man, right? It's like, no, that's this societal idea that, men are only supposed to be the masculine, right? There's both sides, and when you're out of balance is when you hurt people, right? When you're two in one side, that's when you're not in alignment. And so, I want to speak to both sexes here and both sides of everyone. The females have masculine. A lot of times they're operating from the masculine because they don't feel safe to express their feminine. And I believe that, for the women in your life, if you're a man, that the more that you work on yourself, the more that you work on your own healing, the more that you invest in getting to know yourself and allowing these things to come through, that you give permission and safety to the women in your life. And so I do believe that that's one of our parts to play, or one of the roles that we play in the lives of the people around us. And so there's that. I just wanted to say that. If you struggle with this as a man, then I would suggest just trying something simple, like looking in the mirror. I say simple because I've done it. It's not that simple. It's like start looking at yourself in the mirror and just acknowledge yourself. Say something like, yo, I'm proud of you for doing this. Also forgive yourself for the things that you've messed up. It's like, yo, I forgive you for this thing. And this is called mirror work. And I learned it from a woman named Lisa Nichols. But it's very powerful when you start to acknowledge yourself as an individual outside of, like we treat other people better than we treat ourselves. And really how we show up in our lives really all centers around how we believe and perceive ourselves to be. And so I think when you have wounds inside that you haven't handled and dealt with, those wounds manifest in other people, in the way that we treat other people, in the way that we show up to our work, in the way that we show up to our relationships, in the way that we show up with our children, in the way that we show up in life, right? And so I think it's super important for us to not push away from the emotionality that we feel, for us to actually lean into it and to give yourself permission to feel things more, right? The more that you feel things, even though if they're dark and painful, the easier it becomes to recognize and heal the things that have wounded us in the past. The idea that men don't have emotions and don't feel things is such a fallacy, right? It's not true. Everybody feels things, but how we are to manage those things and how we are to push those things down and not allow ourselves to feel them has led us to the place that we're in with so much addiction, whether it's alcohol, substances, pornography, sex, right? Whatever it is that you're addicted to in an unhealthy way. This is all a side effect of that, right? And so I think it's time that we really examine the things and the way that we treat ourselves and where those things come from. And I had something else I wanted to say today, but it looks like I'm almost out of time. About 9 minutes. So I will leave you with this last thought. I heard a quote yesterday that really stuck with me. It said, "Is it one day or day one? Is it one day or day one?" So is this thing that you've been wanting to do with your life, if you've been wanting to try something or go after your dream or your passion or your purpose, is it something that you keep saying, one day I'll do that. One day I'll pursue that. One day I'll tell this person how I feel. One day I'll try that thing that I want to try. Or could you say that today is day one of my path to pursuing the things that light me up and the things that I want in my life? And I'll leave you with that. Have a blessed, beautiful, magical day today. Blessings.